All right, so it's finally time. The lake is almost as full as it's going to get, which means there's enough downward pressure, and it's a beautiful day, so it's not raining. Anyway, there's enough downward pressure, in theory, that we should be able to put the Soilfloc in, which is the name of the pond sealer that we're going to use. There's a part A and a part B to it. So my goal today is to put that in. We're going to start with the outside edges. We know based on when it was basically empty, the middle seems to hold the water pretty good. Our hunch is it's the outside that's the bigger problem, where most of the water is draining. So I'm going to apply, obviously, part A and part B to the outside first, and then I'll get in the kayak, probably have both kayaks. So B in one, put some more Soilfloc in the other, and do my absolute best, which should be pretty entertaining, to distribute the Soilfloc in the middle as well. So this is a lake in its current state. You can see, if you can't, probably see it a little bit later, the pipe, the conduit where the creek is flowing in, is about as high as I can get it. And I'd say it's probably got another foot roughly before the water reaches the bottom of the conduit. And then it'll start flooding out to the other side. So the next is to redo the exit point on what that level is going to be so that the water goes out. Currently it's set too high, so it'll flood a good quarter of what you see in the background there before it really starts dumping out into the creek that runs further out. So anyway, today, Soilfloc, we'll see if we can seal this up so we can hold water throughout the year, which would be absolutely tremendous. Thoughts after doing that application are
the pond has been flocked.
Funny.
Ultimately, it can take up to 3 weeks to see final results. Sometimes sooner, sometimes as long as 3 weeks.
What we did is we measured the pond and got dimensions roughly as best we could for how much we needed to put in, which was 2 bags of each. So I ordered 1 extra bag. If I were you, if I were to do it again, I would have ordered 1 more. I would double it. So whatever your measurements tell you to do, I would do twice. My thoughts, because I don't work for the company, I know that they're going to love this because that's double revenue for them. But my thought is to save money. So if 2 was enough and a third was to a little extra, based on how we see that once it kind of settles in, then you get another white layer on top. Maybe we did it just perfect. But basically about $800 per set. I would have gladly have spent another $1,000 not to redo it again next year for $3,000 more. So in my opinion, you'd be saving money in the long run, and you just, I think you get more feel goods when you see it laying on top knowing that you got good coverage. But it was super interesting to put a rake in there to get some of the fir boughs out of the water and to see just how, like, it just looks like rhinoceros snot is the best way that I can put it. It's just gooey slime everywhere, and that's going to settle into the dirt. It can take up to 3 weeks to settle all the way down into the crevices. The weight of the water is going to pull it into those cracks. This is a theory. And it's going to attract the clay compounds in the soil to attach to it. That's a theory based on reading the instructions a gazillion times. Any more questions, contact the manufacturer. That's all we know. We're just making this up as we go. So, cross our fingers it works. And this is the one and only time that we have to do it. And then we've got a bunch of geese and a bunch of ducks so they can poop in there. And then that poop will settle, and that will also help seal it. And if not, we're going to get floating cows and have them poop in there, and maybe that'll work. We get floating cows and floating pigs. We'll put all kinds of crap in there, and we'll be in good shape. Lisa?
I think it's time for lunch. He's getting delirious.
Turn the camera off. Let's go.
It's time to get up and move it. I think I'm losing my sanity. I'm heading straight for catastrophe. I keep on hearing this melody, and I think it's doing something new to me. I can't keep my feet on the ground. Something's going down. It's time to get up and move it. I think you already know. Act like there ain't nothing to it. Go on and give them a show. From the left to the right, from the morning to the night, from the front to the back, just a matter of time till you do it. Oh yeah, get up and move it. Oh yeah. I guess I can't really help myself. This music turns me to something else. You see the way I move my feet, like I lit a fire under.
How's this?
I think it looks wonderful. It's nice and built up, and I've got room to plant, and you soften the
That's
under.
good.
Yeah, it's amazing.
She likes it. So what I did is I broke up the underneath
Okay,
with the pitchfork,
because that was pretty compact.
and I tried to break it up a little bit, but I wasn't too worried about it.
Okay.
And I didn't smooth it back out so that there was big holes.
Oh.
So all of this goes down in there as well.
Okay.
And my hope is compost, mulch, whatever.
Mhm.
All the soil and microbes and what?
Yeah, microbes.
Isn't there something else?
Well, there's fungi.
Fungi?
Yeah,
That's on your feet.
well, that's a bad fungi.
Oh. Fungi is going to be growing in our garden. Apparently that's good. Anyway, so all the things can do their thing and then break up the soil underneath as well.
Yeah,
That was my thought.
that's good.
It could be total BS. We made the greenhouse. Oh, hey. So an update. A lot of you guys, I'm going to try and steer people to this video because right now everybody's watching the video we did a year ago on the greenhouse.
Yeah.
And they're asking all kinds of questions, which is great. I would encourage you, as painful as it may be, I think there's 4 of them. Watch all 4. Number 1. Number 2, we're making this up as we go. Like, there's no grandiose blueprint in dimensions on anything. It was literally as we made it. Like, when I make something, but I'll say we because we work together. When we make something, it's custom. Literally everything is custom.
Yeah.
So, but an update on the greenhouse, it did great over the winter.
Yeah.
Temperature-wise, I don't think there's anything to really brag about. We did have some winds that, based on the weather report, were like 50, 60 mile an hour winds, which is pretty serious wind.
It blew the front screen door open, so then we had to start bungeeing it.
And like blew it open, meaning it shifted just enough where the door kind of opened itself. It wasn't like
Kind of like a ghost.
it wasn't what I would envision with what you just said, with like a door cranking like
right.
crazy.
It wasn't making the flapping sound.
Just moved
but
enough
it knew,
to unlatch. So we just put a bungee in front. But the bigger picture, we didn't get a ton of snow this year.
Yeah.
I would say at one time we probably never got any more than 8 to 10 inches. And it would literally just fall off the roof. There was one point where we pulled it off the roof just for something to do. But I don't think we really needed to. We're just being proactive. So in that respect, super impressed. With the wind, super impressed. Like, besides budging a little bit for the door to open, like, she didn't move.
Yeah. There are no pieces that we have to reattach.
Yep.
It all stayed. Super awesome.
Yep. So I don't regret all the extra effort that we went through with, I think you guys can see this from there, the arches that we did. So I'm going to estimate roughly over 6 feet. We did these 2x4s and just cut them. I'm going to say every 4 inches. We don't regret doing that at all. Doing the extra bracing, the V bracing at the top, I think was totally worth it. Doing the bracing across that pushes the arches out for snow load down. Like, everything we did, I think, is well worth it. I'm sorry we don't have dimensions on everything to share. Ask questions in the comments, read the comments on those videos and see if maybe some of those questions have already been answered. I think it's a great design, so I'm going to try and answer every question in as great a detail as I can, because I don't think there was one video that we watched on a double wide cattle panel that hadn't collapsed under heavy snow.
Yeah.
So hopefully it's helpful for somebody. I would go through the extra effort, the arches going over and the braces going up. I'm going to say that's probably 9 or so feet up.
Yeah.
That's the ticket. Brace it. Get the best plastic you can. All that effort is hopefully going to make sure you don't have to do it twice. And hopefully that means next winter it doesn't blow over. I mean, there's no guarantees.
Yeah.
Right?
Every year is new.
But over the winter, it did really good. We're really happy with it. This is going to be our first full growing season. Last year, we were way late.
Yeah.
I think it was like June, July before we were done. Probably July.
Well, with this, yes.
So.
And I even planted late in the upper field. I didn't plant till June 1st.
Yeah, we goofed around a little bit. This is currently middle of March. 17th is when I got home, so today's the 18th. So we're getting ahead this year. Everybody else around here is like, don't plan until May. Screw that. It's 100 degrees in here today. We're planning now and getting this baby rolling.
Yeah.
What we're going to do is we're going to take rocks, because there's a bazillion rocks around here. We're going to bring them in and disperse them on top of the beds to create heat. So on those cold nights, so a greenhouse doesn't stay warm at night. It's probably colder inside a greenhouse at night than it is outside. Do your own research. I don't know why, but that's what it is. So we're going to take those rocks, we're going to take the shade cloth over the top, and the theory being those rocks will dissipate that heat at night. The shade cloth will help keep that heat down with the plants so they don't freeze. We'll let you know how it works. Anything else? Okay, see you later.
Guess what? So today we're making delicious pumpkin bread. We have some dietitian restrictions here at the cabin. So, intolerant gluten, dairy, and cane sugar. So for our gluten replacement, we use King Arthur gluten-free flour. For our sweetener, we typically use agave or honey, and there's your choice in choosing the agave. There's many different labels out there. And coconut oil. And the trick on the coconut oil needs to be unrefined. That's the best coconut oil. So, this pumpkin bread is Chris approved. It's delicious. And it's moist. Like, it's amazing. It's really good. Ready.
Okay, what are we going to talk about? Oh, so an update with the pond. It's been 2-3 weeks. It's been a while.
I say good 2 weeks.
2 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with 2 weeks. I think it worked pretty good. So we put the Soilfloc down, and by the time we got up the next morning, I'll show you some footage of where the culvert is now and how high that is. When we put it in, it was about a foot, and then the next day it was at the bottom of that culvert, so it almost immediately started going up.
Yeah.
Right?
It's at its highest point, and it's nice and full, just like we wanted.
Yep,
That was our goal.
I was afraid it wasn't going to reach as high as I wanted.
Right.
But we were able to maneuver that pipe up even a little bit more, probably another, 6 to 8 inches.
About that, but the momentum of the creek coming in, it gives it nice push through the culvert, so there's still movement. It hasn't ever been stagnant inside.
Yeah. So how do you want her to go uphill besides an electric pump? Momentum seems to be working out pretty good for us. So that's an update for the lake. It seems to be working pretty good. We dug the culvert. It snowed like 2 days ago, another 8 inches, just random.
Yeah.
Out of the
prior
blue?
to that, a hailstorm.
Yeah, so all that water is currently melting from the snow. So it's currently at its highest point, kind of overfilling on the opposite side. But I'm going to say mission accomplished, because we got done what we wanted to get done.
Right.
We hopefully got it sealed up. And then the miscellaneous things in finishing up the culvert, finishing up the entrance and exit of the culvert are big. But we didn't know how things were going to go. So I say mission accomplished. And then late spring, early summer, we'll fix that up, or maybe even in the fall, we'll finish up the entrance and exit so it doesn't overfill next year, and we should be good.
Yeah.
Right?
And if we're getting better weather, like no rain, it'll also tell us how much is actually evaporating, because right now it is at the highest point.
Yeah, we won't know for sure until August.
Yeah.
Just how well we sealed it up. So we'll see. Hope you guys are doing good. And I think that's a wrap for this one.
Yeah.
All right. Nice job.